I don't know if people realize that you still work for WWE.
Yeah.
So I think
Still here.
but I mean that with great love and great respect.
Sure.
When we're not seeing you perform, it's like, oh, wait, he's still doing something there. So you're working as a producer.
I am. Yeah. I had 2 neck surgeries. I had my C5, C6 fused in November 30th of 2022. And then May 11th of 2023, my birthday, I had my level 4 and 5 fused. So I have a 2-level fusion.
Was this just a nagging injury or was there something that happened?
A lot of wear and tear over the years.
Yeah.
I can kind of relate it back to almost 10 years to the day that I got re-injured. It was just a weird circumstance. I was in a match with Rob Van Dam and just something happened. I don't know what it was. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't my fault. It was just something happened. And I just landed on the ground. He does that front suplex thing where he lands you on the barricade and then jumps off and does that twisting leg drop. And Rob and I worked together for a month at least doing live events, doing this exact same thing, and just so happened to be on pay-per-view that this happened, and my leg went numb for that felt like a minute and a half to 2 minutes. It felt like my leg. I had no feeling in my leg, but watching it back was more like 10 seconds. But I had no feeling in my leg. And then I ended up finishing the match. That was a ladder match. Finishing the match, ended up wrestling the next day and the day after. I want to say I wrestled AJ on television the next day and had like no issues.
Yeah.
Totally fine. And then I remember waking up that Friday that week and it felt like I had a golf ball in my back. And I went to my cupboard to pull out a coffee mug to make coffee, and I grabbed the coffee mug and my wrist just went like this. I had no strength and just like lost everything. And I thought I was just, I'll go to the gym and roll out and work out. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just a stinger. And man, I lost all kinds of strength. I lost a bunch of muscle and I had a lot of nerve damage in my neck. But at that time, I just became world champion at TNA.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody I was hurt. And different time, of course.
Sure.
But I worked through it, and miraculously enough, the injury kind of repaired itself, so to speak, I guess, for 10 years, and was able to continue on and do what I've done, and then just so happened to be in Amarillo, Texas, in a match with Omos, and just landed wrong, and nobody's fault again. Just I think just the wear and tear over the years. Just kind of my neck just said that was it.
Do you think now that your neck's fused that you could wrestle again?
Ironically enough, I just got green lighted. The fusion has completely fused. So as far as like looking at it from a medical point of view, it's safe to get back in the ring, I guess. But at almost 48 years old, given the opportunity that I've been given now to work as a producer, which was my goal, coming to WWE almost 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy doing this, and I feel like I've had a good run, as they say, and I'm happy to do what I'm doing now.
But look, it's Royal Rumble weekend. Like
it is.
we could hear Glorious hit one more time.
We could, but I don't think this is the year it's going to happen. I can almost promise you that.
Maybe next year. Well, this will be out after anyway, but
yeah,
maybe next year.
You never know. I mean, yeah, sure. Like, could I do this full time? There's no way I could. And look, to be honest, the injury is, I have 3 levels that are bad. The level 6 and 7 are not good either. So when I got my injury back in 2022, when I re-injured it, I got an MRI done the next day, and they said that your 3 levels are just not good. 2 levels are not great. You need to get fixed. So I went to Birmingham and saw Dr. Cordova, who's amazing, and he just thought we needed to do a 2-level, because the thing is that I wasn't living in any pain. I didn't have pain.
Yeah.
I could go through the day without feeling any sort of pain. The issue with me was my strength. And then because I was losing strength, I started to lose muscle in my right arm. And it just scared me because the first thing I thought of was like Paul Orndorff, right? And his injury. And that's what was happening to me. I was starting to atrophy really bad in my shoulder, and in my bicep. So long story short, I was set to get a 2-level fusion back in November 30th of 2022. And Dr. Cordova called me the night before, and I was in the hotel room in Birmingham getting ready to get up at 5 a.m. the next day to get up and go to do the surgery. And he's like, talk to, a couple of the doctors, and I think we can just get away with doing 1 level, and I think you're going to be fine. So we went in and we did the 1 level, and, I felt great. I not felt great the next day, but like, after the 6 weeks of doing nothing, and once I started the physical therapy and all that other stuff, I felt pretty good. Like my strength was coming back, and I felt like the muscle was coming back. And then just out of the blue, I remember March the 10th, I just remember having such wild pain that I never experienced before. And I don't know what happened. We really don't know what happened, but I remember getting really sick and vomiting and blacking out, and then kind of coming to and not being able to like raise my arm up over my head. So what happened was the level above it just went. So level 4 and 5 just kind of went for whatever reason. So in hindsight, maybe we should have got them both done at the same time, but look, that's life and we just move on. But so I had to get this other fusion done. And, that level 6 and 7, like I said, is still not great. But I'm feeling better. And so I just don't mentally, I don't think I could take the risk going back in the ring and working a full-time schedule, just knowing that, as well as, I feel like I look differently too. You know what I mean? I always kind of prided myself in the way that I looked on television, and, I love being in the gym and working out. And it's just, when you physically don't look the same, it's just a mental thing as well for me.